Hi, my name is Ralphie, and I'm here to introduce our guest reader today. Her name is Jeanna Ganas. She is a teacher at Virewood and has written 3 books. The book she is going to share with you today is called Boo. Okay, Miss Jeanna, take it away!
Ralphie, thank you so much for that amazing introduction. Guys, my name is Jeanna Ganas, just like Ralphie said. How cool was he? And I am so excited to get to be here today to share a story with all of you. Now, who can tell me before we get started, what kind of animal was Ralphie? A hamster. That's right. Ralphie is a hamster. And do you know what Ralphie knows about me? Ralphie knows that I love hamsters. And I love hamsters so much that I had a pet hamster in my classroom. And that hamster's name was Boo. But do you know what Boo did? Boo escaped. Can you say that with me? He escaped. And we couldn't find Boo. But then after Boo escaped, something really cool happened, and I wrote about it in this book. And the title of my book is Boo, just like my hamster's name. And then do you guys know who this is right here? That's right, that's Boo, my pet hamster. And I'm going to share this story with you guys today. Now, before we get started, I'm going to do with you what I do in my class, all right? So I want everybody to put their hand out just like this. I want to make you a fist with your other hand, just like this. Can you say these words with me? Can you say, the author writes the words? Let me hear you say it. The author writes the words. Good job. And then we're going to stick our finger up in the air like this, and we're going to say, the illustrator draws the pictures. Can you do that? The illustrator draws the pictures. That's right, because it's so important to know when you read a story who the author and who the illustrator are. And this book is extra special to me because guess who the author is? It's me. I'm the author. And look, there's my name right there on the cover of my book. Now, tell me something. When you guys do your schoolwork, even the work that you're doing right now from home, do you put your name on your work? You do, right? So I want to challenge you today. I don't want you to ever put your name on something that you're not proud of. So when you're doing your work at home and you put your name on the top of that work, you're telling your teacher that you are proud of the work that you're doing. So can you do that for me? When you write your name on your work, will you make sure you're proud of the work you've done? All right, so let's get started, and we are going to read my story about Boo. Boo by Jeanna Ganas. Once upon a classroom, in the middle of a shelf, stood a colorful little cage where Boo kept all to himself. He loved to watch the children as they passed beside his home. They talked to him and fed him treats. Boo never felt alone. The room was filled with fun and smiles, always a happy vibe. How lucky Boo felt to be a part of this little classroom tribe. Then one day, something happened that had never happened before. The teacher bumped Boo's cage as she was heading out the door. The bump knocked loose a twisty tube. Boo liked to travel around, but now how could he use it since it had fallen to the ground? Boo peeked out of the empty space where his twisty tube used to sit, and then he crawled down to the floor to go explore a little bit. He scampered to the corner where he saw a tiny crack. Should he go inside? Would he ever find his way back? He took a chance and crawled into the tiny open space. He looked around with amazement at the sight of this new place. Twisty tubes, just like on his cage, were tangled within the walls. They zigzagged sideways, up and down, and all around the halls. Boo could choose any path that he wanted. How could this be? Where would each tube take him? What new sights would he see? Boo leaped into the first tube. Where would it lead? He zoomed toward the opening with rapid speed. He popped his head outside the tube to see what he could see.
he discovered a space that was filled with books. He found the library. The second tube was full of loops and led him to a place with hoops. Balls, cones, and bleachers on all sides surrounded him. Boo didn't even know it, but he found the gym. Boo scurried down the third tube. What new place would he find? When he looked out of the opening, he couldn't believe his eyes. Lunch trays, tables, and tasty treats. Boo found the cafeteria where everyone goes to eat. Each new tube took Boo to rooms he had never seen before, like the music room, an art room, and classrooms galore. Boo stopped to rest his tired paws. What a journey it had been! Roaming free was lots of fun, but Boo missed his classroom friends. He missed the smiles. He missed the treats. He missed his little shelf. Boo realized school was not as fun when he was by himself. Thinking of his classroom made Boo start to feel alone. Which tube would lead him back? How would he ever find the way home? Boo looked at the maze of tubes. The sight made him want to cry. Finding his way back wouldn't be easy, but he knew he had to try. The next morning, in Boo's classroom, after the teacher opened the door, it didn't take long to see Boo's twisty tube was on the floor. "Oh no," cried the children. "Whatever will we do? Things won't be the same around here without our class pet Boo." The teacher tried to console them, but their tears began to flow. They wanted Boo to come back. Where did he go? Their tears turned into cries so loud they echoed through the halls. Maybe the sound would reach Boo. Would he hear it through the walls? Back inside the twisty tubes, Boo was running here and there. Suddenly, he heard a sound so loud it tingled through his hair. That sound, Boo wondered, what could it be? Could it be the children calling out for me? Boo raced toward the sound. His hopes began to soar. Would the noise lead him back? Would he find his home once more? Suddenly he saw the space where his journey had begun. His heart started to flutter. He knew this was the one. Boo scrambled through the opening and ran right to the rug. The teacher saw him coming and caught him in a mug. The class was so excited and the room was filled with cheers. They magically forgot about their sadness and their tears. They put Boo back into his cage and set him on the shelf. And as they did, Boo couldn't help but smile all to himself. So if you ever have a moment where you're feeling lost like Boo, just listen to your heart and you will find your right way too. Hey readers, it's Jeanna Ganas here, and I am so glad that you took the time today to listen to my story about Boo. And believe it or not, this story was actually based on something that happened in my classroom. We had a pet hamster named Boo, and guess what? He escaped. And after he escaped, he was missing for 3, not days, but 3 weeks. And we didn't think we would ever see Boo again. But just like in the story, Boo never gave up, and he kept trying, and he found his way back to us in our classroom. And this picture that you're seeing right here is a picture of my class the year that I had Boo. And if you look really close into the cage, at the very back in the top left-hand corner, you'll see a small blob, and that is Boo. Guys, thanks again for listening to my story, and always remember, never give up.
So, who liked the story? Can you guys give me 2 thumbs up if you like the book? I'm so glad. Well, I just am so excited that I was able to come and share my story about Boo with you today. And you know what? Nobody knows this. You guys are the first people I'm telling. In the fall, when school starts back, there's going to be another book coming out about Boo. Isn't that exciting? So you guys be on the lookout for that. I'm so glad you enjoyed my story, and thanks again for having me on your read aloud. And Ralphie, thank you again for that awesome introduction. Bye, guys.